The Indonesian archipelago is gigantic, which if we put it above Europe would cover a good portion of it. Hence, this immense size of the area creates an equally immense problem. How do you defend it? The same question was asked by the Dutch. Their prized colonial possession was massive, but the administration and hence defense was centered around Batavia, modern-day Jakarta. To meet this need for defense, in 1816 the Coloniale Marina, literally Colonial Navy, was formed. It was to provide some degree of coastal defense in their many islands, but was disbanded in less than 30 years, only to be refounded and rebranded shortly after. So why was it created in 1816? What did they do in the Second World War? What happened to them? During the Napoleonic War, the British sort of occupied the Dutch East Indies to prevent the French from utilizing them to their advantage. After Napoleon was defeated for the second time, the Dutch realized that to expand their colony, which was re-given by the British, they also need to expand their navy there. So hence in 1816, under a royal decree, the Coloniale Marina was born. Intended to assert Dutch authority, combat piracy and theft, though actual defense of the areas was in the responsibility of the local princes and sultans. The Dutch called these the Indische Zeemacht. The Coloniale Marine was a messy collection of converted merchant ships, old navy vessels that could go back to the Netherlands, and a few brigs. The administration was also equally confusing and ineffective. Many appropriate land facilities needed for the Coloniale Marina to operate effectively were missing, and so the Coloniale Marina couldn't operate far. Because of this, in 1842, the Coloniale Marina was disbanded. The disbandment resulted in the split of the former vessels in the Coloniale Marina, the first being the auxiliary fleet, which was manned by Dutch personnel, and the Gouvernements schooner and kruisboot, or the government schooners and cruiser boats, which was mostly manned by native civilians. Despite the disbandment of the Coloniale Marina, both fleets still operated the same way. On August 27, 1861, the Gouvernements schooner and kruisboten was renamed to the Gouvernements Marina. The task of the auxiliary fleet and the multiple Indische Zeemachts were gradually taken over by the main Dutch Navy, though the Gouvernements Marina remained. It was at this time that the GM was officially operating as a civilian navy, hence they were spared from being replaced. In 1888, their transport duties was taken over by the Nederlandse Indische Stoomboot Maatschappij. Their duties now include fisheries patrol, transport for government officials, providing medical needs, supplying outposts, surveying the archipelago, and counter-smuggling. In 1906, the Navy was split into two. De Dienstenbewagering en Kustverlichting, service for beaconing and coastal lighting, and the Diensten Gewestelijke Vaartuigen, service for regional vessels. Patrolling and policing duties was the responsibility of the service of regional vessels, and everything else was the responsibility of the beaconing and coastal lighting. In reality, however, nothing much really changed, and both still used the name Gouvernements Marina. It was also by this time that the need for military transport was reduced. Therefore, the size of the Gouvernements Marina was also reduced. By 1926, they had 26 serviceable vessels, which was further reduced due to the economic crisis in the 1930s. In World War II, there were only 18 capable Gouvernements Marina vessels, 7 of them were old. Due to their designation, they saw no real combat at sea, and all ships were scuttled by March 1942. They were officially and for the final time disbanded in 1949 after Indonesia's independence was recognized by Dutch authorities. Most of the Gouvernements Marina vessels became the founding blocks for the new Indonesian Navy.